Morning, everyone. Morning, good morning. Happy Monday, guys. What's going on? Taking a look at everything today, we don't have any news. We just have Fed speakers throughout the morning, starting in about 10 minutes. So that's something to be aware of. Also, we have contract rollover week. So the volume is kind of split between two contracts. No news Monday, the week before Christmas, like holiday week. It's just kind of a funky day. So definitely trade safe today, you guys. So we had that big dump on Friday, and all night we've kind of had a retrace of that move. So still definitely a downtrend, like it made lower lows. It could still be making a lower high. So if it comes up to this area around 500-ish, 25,500 on NQ, and starts to reject, we could possibly look for shorts. Or if this is going to continue the bounce up, I'm not expecting it to go to the moon, but it could come down to like VWAP or something at 280. We could look for maybe a long continuation there. I'm not looking for any home run trades today though, unless it just starts to dump and it's going to continue the move down from Friday. That could be a bigger move. But I don't know. I kind of am expecting a little bit of a choppy day or maybe a ranging day today because of all the things that I listed, you know. Holiday volume, contract rollover, no news, all that stuff. So this is kind of maybe the last good week of trading before Christmas break, yeah? Because next week is kind of going to be a little crazy. Maybe not good trading. How did everyone's weekend go? What'd you guys do? Anything exciting? Our Christmas activities were in full swing here. We did some baking this weekend. We made some fudge and some gingerbread cookies and some toffee. And then we went and looked at Christmas lights on Saturday. So that was fun. Yeah, Maverick, I agree. This week will be a little bit funny because it's kind of the week before the holiday week, and then contract rollover week on top of that might make things a little bit interesting to trade. Zach hitting the beach again. I love it. Only in Costa Rica. Or Central America in general. I'm laughing at the contrast between the two. So Zach's comment was he's going to hit the beach. And G-Man in Discord just said he shoveled snow this weekend. Oh, what a difference. Where do I set up the volume profile for value areas? I use this indicator. It's called Session Volume Profile, or SVP. You can kind of see it. It's shaded out right here, but if I turn it on, you can see it better. And it shows for the New York session, the value area low, value area high, and point of control. But I'll mark it on the 1 minute chart because it's a little bit more accurate. So if I scroll back, you can see right here, value area high, point of control, where that yellow dotted line is. And then value area low is the bottom of the white. So the white range and then the point of control. So I just mark the lines and then I turn off the indicator to keep my chart a little bit cleaner. Yeah, Mickey, I feel you on that one. Like higher time frames say short. So that's why I'm saying if it maybe goes up to like 25, 550-ish, 25, 500, somewhere in this region, and sellers really start to get aggressive and sell off, I could see this being a lower high and we continue lower. Because yeah, I mean, we're bearish right now. But I'm not going to be super quick to short because that was a big bounce from this low. We're already 250-ish points off the low. So I'm going to be patient, see what the market brings. So the mix in sentiment plus all the contract rollover, no news Monday, all the stuff that I listed, it'll be interesting. Gonna be patient, wait for reactions on some of these levels. So the upside would be 500, 550-ish, maybe even up to this resistance that I have up here. Watch for a short reaction. If it comes back down to VWAP at like 270, 280, could possibly look for a long there. Those are kind of the ranges that I'm watching for. Have a good one, Waffles. Take care. Alrighty, market opens in a little over a minute. Trade safe today, guys. Be patient. Wait for your levels to hit. Wait for your confirmation. Got a nice little pre-market pump there a couple minutes ago. Volume picked up big time on that one candle. The volume that I'm showing between the two contracts, the H and the Z, is like 50-50. The H is a little bit more, but it's kind of iffy, you guys. Would be a good day to size down and be careful. Alrighty, markets open. Nice little pullback. ES is continuing to dump. NQ is bouncing around a little bit. Don't jump into a trade too early, guys. Be careful. To keep your fingers busy so you're not hitting any buy or sell buttons, go hit that like button. That'll keep you distracted so you don't enter a trade too early. All right, let's start marking off. This is our anchored VWAP. How did QQQ open? Oh, wow. Big gap up. Is it going to come down and fill that gap? Interesting. We also have our regular trading hours close way down here at 25,200. So it'd be interesting if it came down to there. If this thing starts to dump back down, that could be a possible spot for a long. There's quite a bit of confluence down here at 25,212. That's the regular trading hours gap, Friday's point of control, London low is in that general area, and then I do have a high volume node right there. So that'd be a good spot for a long if it goes down there. I'm entered on a short 3 contracts. I don't know why it's not showing on here. Maybe because it's the H contract and I don't have it linked. But 620.25 is where I entered. Oh, interesting. So this MNQ1 is, the numbers are different on this. Same idea applies though. So I entered on this drop right below. So 364-ish is the equivalent. That's why I hate contract rollover. So I'm going to watch and see how it reacts at VWAP here. If it continues down, then 212-ish would be where I exit. I know I have the ability to change this contract in TradingView to the H contract, but then it messes up all the volume from like higher time frame, 1 hour volume, all these levels that I mark off. So I'll just leave it as is, and I'll watch my trading view levels and adjust on my other screen. All right, so I have my stop loss at break even. That way if it bounces back up, not taking any loss. So see what I mean? The entry here, 25, 612 is where my stop loss, 620 is where I entered. But on this chart, it's like 344. So yeah, I'll just watch the levels. Good times, good times. That couple day transition period is always a little bit funky. Came back up and hit my stop loss. That's all right. I like to be aggressive with moving my stop loss to break even when I take a trade that early in the open. All right, let's start marking off 15-minute levels. 15-minute low as of now. I definitely don't believe, I'm not convinced that this move up is, like, we haven't found our bottom on this move, I don't think. So I could see us floating up a little bit more, but I don't know. I feel like it's going to return back down. Going to be cautious with longs. ES did come down to VWAP and bounced. NQ did not. Let me get my 15-minute opening range high on ES marked. Looking like it wants to come down. Like I was saying before, I'm going to watch to see what happens with NQ at VWAP. If it bounces, could look for a long opportunity. If not, my next area I'm watching is this 25, 214-ish, 212, somewhere down here. Like I said, there's lots of confluence for this level. London low liquidity grab, point of control, high volume node support, RTH gap, all those things. But we're coming to VWAP right now. Let's see what happens. Making a new low on this 15-minute range. You guys are quiet in the chat. You guys all just intensely trading. What are you guys watching for? NQ did reach VWAP, and it's bouncing a little bit, but that's kind of a sad bounce so far. Not super convincing, because this 5-minute candle is about to close, and that was not really an aggressive buy up. Oh, evac is in a short. Yeah, I don't know. I think what I would do, evac, if I was still in my short and my stop loss didn't get hit, I would scale out some at VWAP and then hold a runner, maybe half the position or a smaller portion of it, down to this 214 level, because that's really where I feel like it's headed. But that's just me. Kind of depends on you and if you're the type of person who likes to hold for the longer trades or if you're more of a scalper. Verisat's getting into some Tesla puts. You think it's about to dump, huh? Poker channel, that's a good strategy. Waiting for the 15-minute range and the 60-minute range is a good way to, it just forces you to be patient. I know a lot of people actually who trade the 15-minute range and they don't even sit down at their computer until like 9:40 or something, just because it forces them to wait and not enter anything on the initial volatility of the open. Still kind of holding above the session VWAP from overnight. But this is not the kind of bounce that I personally would want to enter long off of. I mean, it could bounce, but it kind of looks like it's trying to break below and go lower. That's what I'm seeing. Two more minutes until this 15-minute range is set. If it doesn't hold here, let's see if my little red magnet works. Come on down. And honestly, even if it does hit this level that I have my red dot at, I'm not expecting this to like be, I'm not looking for a home run on longs, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Words are hard this morning. Still a little bit short bias, so I feel like we might get a bounce here. But overall, kind of thinking we're going to continue down. So I will wait for the reaction at this level, because it could just get heavy and start dropping all the way down. Yep. Not holding VWAP. 15-minute range is set, and we're starting to break below it. Well, my short here was right. I just moved my stop loss to break even too early. It barely stopped me out by like 2 points. Fun times. That was my own fault. I get scared with trades right at the open. Probably just lack of confidence and the volatility of the open. So I'm like, I gotta go to break even as fast as I can. But then there's days like today where my idea was right. I just wasn't willing to sit through the fluctuations. That's all right. Honestly, I'm okay with it, because the alternative could be where I made my stop loss too big and then I'm mad at myself because I'm down $300 or whatever and I didn't manage my risk well. All right, coming back up to this 15-minute opening range low, and VWAP is right there. I would not take a short from here, simply because the risk to reward would not be great. I would want to put my stop loss up above that wick, and my take profit would be here. That's barely above a 1-to-1 risk to reward. So I'm not going to take that, even though it could play out. If it comes higher back to the New York anchored VWAP, I'll consider entering a short, because the risk to reward would be a lot better. So that is me. Still kind of hovering down here. ES came down to London low, kind of getting a little bit of a bounce there. These are not convincing bounces, you guys. Definitely think that shorts are the way to go. Making its way up a little bit. Let's see what happens at this New York anchored VWAP. See if shorts are good to go. See if it comes up a little bit higher. It might not. Darn. Come on. Was I being a little too greedy with my entry? It came up like hit 310. I was looking for 320-ish. Too greedy with my entry. Now it's going down. Yeah, you guys, I know I said it earlier, but in case you missed it, I'll give my 2 cents. This is a good day to size down for sure. You can just feel the slowness of it with the volume being split between 2 contracts and then no news Monday. And who knows, if Trump throws in a tweet there, this could get crazy. Manage your risk, you guys. Make sure your stop losses are in place. Well, that idea didn't play out. I mean, it's playing out, but I didn't enter because it didn't come up to where I was watching. Sometimes there's trade-offs when you're trying to be patient and then you're almost too patient and you miss it. Came down to London low. It did not quite grab those wicks. So this line is at London low. For a good liquidity grab, I like it to like wick down below it. So you can tell that it's like stopping those people out and then an aggressive buy up out of it. So even though it's in the general vicinity, that's not what I would look for in a liquidity grab. I can delete that one since I didn't get into that trade. All right, let's see what happens down here. 206, 213, like somewhere in this vicinity. I'm ready for it. Still leaning towards shorts, but we might be able to get a little scalp long if it has a good reaction here. Is this what it's going to be like until the beginning of the year? It's just going to be like trading Asia all day? Hopefully some of you guys are going to use this time to like get away from the charts. Maybe do some back testing or something, but I'm also a big fan of just like, don't even look at the charts. Sometimes you just need time away. I equate it to like my workout is, or my background is, you know, fitness, owning a gym. Like sometimes you just need to take a rest day. And by rest day, I mean like rest. Maybe go for a walk, stretch. But, you know, those crazy people who are like, yeah, my rest day, I went and ran 3 miles. You're not resting. You got to let your body rest. So same thing with trading. Like if every single weekend or every hour you're not in a trade, you're studying charts and back testing and like practicing and studying, you're not resting. I think it's important to get away so that when you are at the charts, you're focused and fresh. So that was kind of my tangent, but hopefully you guys are going to be using this time for that. All right, so it did come down to London low. Came down to the bottom of my high volume node. Point of control. So liquidity sweeps are hard for me when volume is low like this. Because what I look for is like an engulfing candle, a displacement candle. Like this slow float down into a level and then just a quick buy up, quick reaction. Like to me, that says buy me. This candle right here is not shouting buy me. So I could miss the trade, but I'm not entering along on this one. And because it's low volume, it could just end up floating back up. And this is just the slow version of a liquidity grab. But I don't like it. Honest tip for someone who's thinking of quitting trading after a year. I guess I would need a little bit more context. Is it because you feel like you're still struggling and you're not profitable and you don't think you ever will be? Or do you just not like it? Like you're not enjoying it at all anymore? Like if you feel like it's more just you're not profitable, then it takes time. Like don't quit. keep going. If that was the case, I would say don't stop. Like maybe go back to paper trading, or maybe if you're copy trading and losing more money than you should be with prop firms, like take a step back on your budget a little bit and slow down on how much you're investing. Or if you're trading your own capital and losing all of your own capital, maybe go to prop firms. So you're only losing, $70 to $80 at a time if you fail an account versus thousands of your own capital. And then just be okay with the fact that it takes time. Like don't expect to, be making $10,000 a month within your first year. I said this on one of my live streams. Oh no, I think I said it in my Discord. But someone was kind of saying something similar where they're like, man, it's been so long. Am I ever going to make it? And again, my background is fitness, so I have all these different metaphors with gym-related stuff. But when I had nutrition clients, I would tell them, like, hey, if your goal is to lose 50 pounds, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in 2 weeks. Maybe it's not going to even happen in 6 months. Maybe it's not going to happen as fast as you want it to. But if you lose this weight and it takes you a year, if it takes you 2 years, but you can actually keep it off forever, like you learn how to keep it off and you're healthy for the rest of your life, wouldn't it be worth it? Like, would you care if it took you 2 years? You probably wouldn't. It sucks during, but imagine yourself 2 years from now and you've reached your goal weight and you're healthy and you feel good. You would not regret that. So same thing with trading. Like, yeah, it's going to suck when you're in the middle of it. You're learning. There's lots of emotions. It's hard. You have to study. You have to keep showing up. But let's say 2 years from now, 4 years from now, you're pulling in consistent like 5-figure, 6-figure payouts every month. Even just 5-figure, 4-figure month every month. Would it be worth it? Yeah. So I know that was a long tangent and I don't exactly know the context for you, but that's what I would say. Don't put a timeline on yourself. Be okay with it taking longer than you would expect it to. But don't quit unless you just hate it. Like if you just dread looking at the charts and you don't like drawing all the lines and it's not enjoyable for you, then don't do it. There's other ways that you can make money. Well, I'm glad I didn't take a long there, but it's not giving me a pullback. Zach, are you as annoyed as I am? I was totally watching this VWAP bounce and I missed it by 10 points. I should have just entered. Dumb. Now it's just gonna float down all the way down. I did take a good trade last night, the one that I shared in Discord, and I hit my profit target on most of my accounts. So I just have one more that I'm trading, so I'm like, I'm okay. I don't feel like I have super FOMO feelings, but still a little bit annoying. Been waiting for the same pullback. The same pullback that is not happening. So the positives in all of this is I can be happy with my analysis of leaning towards shorts. That's the positive. At least I wasn't like looking for longs and totally blew my account because I was trying to long the bottom the whole time. Could have been worse, right? All right, so I'm not sure that it'll actually bounce this high because this is a big bounce, but we have 15-minute opening range low and both of the VWAPs kind of intersecting here at this 285 level. So that's an interesting spot if it does get up there. Still got about 24 minutes until our initial balance is set. Where are we on QQQ? Did it fill that gap yet? It did. So we can kind of watch this for clues. Like, is it going to fill? It filled the gap, but now is it going to bounce back up, or is it just going to fill it and continue down? VIX is starting to come down a little bit. G-Man got in long on gold. So I set these alerts overnight, waiting for a pullback to this level. Almost came. But yeah, I see that as a pretty good support level too. Hopefully it works out for you, G-Man. Both ES and NQ are kind of hovering around Friday's point of control. I don't know if we're going to get that bounce back to this level at 270. Kind of looks like it's going to be a day where it just floats down. A slow float down. So the next big area is this. Again, there's lots of confluence down here. We have Asia low, previous day low, value area low, like this whole area, if we're going to bounce. But again, I'm not convinced that that was the bottom, this whole move on Friday. I don't think that was the bottom. I think it could come down to at least 25K. Could come down to 25K. That's not that much further. I mean, it's only 120 away from where we finished on Friday. Could go lower. That would just be the next level that I would see as support. I'm not super enthused to be trading this, you guys. This seriously feels like trading the Asia session. I'm going to end up entering a trade and then have it take 4 hours to actually play out. I mean, any degen who trades the New York session wants it to move a little faster than this, right? There's another example of waiting for a pullback that did not happen. The slow grind down continues. Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is the Christmas rally that everyone was talking about. Seriously, I think even on the stream, I said something like, all-time highs next week, because we were just pumping. All the news about like rate cuts and how they were going to be stimulating the economy and all this stuff. Like, man, we're going back to all-time highs. And then Friday, nope. Friday says we're dumping. I was laughing because, you know, live streaming, everything's recorded and like on YouTube. Anyone can go back a couple days later and see some of the dumb things that I say. Like, oh, she was so wrong. Yep. I'm not afraid to admit it. I say things that are wrong a lot. Don't listen to me. Well, dang. This general area down here is where I was thinking we could target for a short, but it never gave us a pullback up to actually enter a good short. Good morning from India. So I guess it would be more like good afternoon to you, right? Or good evening almost. What time is it there? How's gold looking, G-Man? Is it moving up for you? Oh, man. Kind of just chopping around, very similar to ES&NQ. Is YM doing better? I know, what was it, Friday, Thursday, something like that. YM was the one that was moving. We were looking at the wrong chart. It's about the same. Kind of a slow grind down. All the charts seem to be feeling the cold, gloomy weather. I guess cold, gloomy weather only applies to certain areas of the country. Zach's like, what are you talking about? I'm going to the beach this weekend. I'm going to the beach again today. Nice and sunny here. I'm wearing shorts and flip-flops. As G-Man continues shoveling his snow. I do not feel sorry for you living in New York, G-Man. I am not a fan of the snow. I'll vacation to the snow, like, you know, if I'm skiing or something and I can just sit in my cabin and drink hot chocolate and then go sledding or go snowboarding or something for a couple hours and then come back and sit by the fireplace when I'm cold. Like, I'm okay with that kind of snow. But every day having to like dress your kids in 15 layers of gloves and hats and jackets and shoveling your driveway. Oh, no, thank you. I'll pass. All right, NQ is coming down to Friday's value area low. Normally I would watch for a long here. Today, right now, I'm not. Because there's some good liquidity grab opportunities right below with Asia low and previous week low, which is also previous day low. That's Friday's low. So, I mean, we could get a little bounce here at this value area low, but if I was to be looking for a long, which I'm not super enthusiastic about a long, if I would wait for these levels and then a strong buy up off of it. So still waiting. Ace Trades, what's going on? Good morning. Do I know about Guyana? What do you mean? Keep having to move this initial balance low line. No signs of this thing bouncing. Oh, yes. I've heard of Guyana. I didn't know what you meant. I thought you were saying like something happened there and there was some big news event. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. But yes, I've heard of the country. I don't know much about it, but welcome. Glad to have you here. All right. Both NQ and ES are coming down towards Asia low, but same thing I said with the liquidity grab on London low earlier. I would want to see it like clearly wick below and aggressive buy up off of it, almost like it's taken out some of those stop losses. And I don't know if we're going to get that with this low volume, slow kind of day. Whoa, 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 what is going on? Yikes. Now that is the kind of liquidity grab that I watch for you guys, but that happened really fast. So I missed it at this point. I'm going to check financial juice. What was that? Was that news or just low volume, crazy liquidity grab that happened really fast because of the low volume? That's why it's tough to trade these kind of days, you guys. Did anyone catch that? That would have been the kind of trade that if you had a limit order set down in this area, it would have worked out. But now it's already 40 points off, 40 points away. So I'm not going to chase it, but hopefully one of you got in. That right there was a textbook liquidity grab. That was sweet. Verisat, that had your name written all over it. Did you have a limit order set? I hope you did. I don't see any news popping up on Financial Juice. So honestly, what that probably was just that level. Like, that was a double liquidity grab, you guys. I probably should have had a limit order set, but I didn't. So that was Asia low from last night and Friday's low from Friday. So that was like a double stop loss grab. And then that's why it shot up so fast with the fact that there's low volume. But yeah, shorts are the way to go today. So that was probably just a little scalp opportunity. And now it continues down. Yeah. Yeah, I get it, Verisat. That happened fast. I was here like staring at my screen and I actually had my finger like on the buy button ready to go, but it just was like, blah, way too fast. And then by the time I would have entered, it already would have been 30 points away from the bottom. I didn't want to be chasing it like that. All right, we have 7 minutes until the initial balance low is finalized. So let's zoom out a little bit and see if there's any more to the left. It didn't. So it had a good bounce off of Asia low. Like that was a good Asia low liquidity grab. It didn't quite come to this Friday low. It could come a little bit lower there. So possible failed auction setup on that. Like if it comes and grabs that Friday's low and then has another aggressive buy up, just like we saw a couple minutes ago. And then I actually don't even have that line right. Holy cow. So much for that idea. Geez, you guys. Are you sure there's not news? We did. So I know something over the weekend. Wasn't there a U.S. troop that got killed in another country and there was some retaliation from Trump? Or is this just the Fed speakers making it go down? Fed Miran, I don't know how to say his name. He's talking about how there's excessive inflation. Yeah, this could just be Fed speakers. And a continuation of Friday's move. I feel like this is kind of a redo of Friday, where it's just a slow grind down all day. And if you didn't get in it at the open, then you're going to miss it. It's kind of what it seems like today is going to do. That just shot through Friday's low without even trying. Like there was zero bounce on that. I'm going to wait until the initial balance gets set in about 4 minutes and see if there's any possibility for a setup, but I'm not thinking I'll be able to find anything that's a good trade at this point. Unless it does start to bounce and it comes back up to VWAP and we can take a short there. That's probably what I would do if I don't see anything soon in the next couple minutes, is I would just set an alert somewhere up here at like 25 to 20-ish and watch for a reaction up here and see if we can take a short. ES has not hit its Friday low yet. NQ did. So that's something to watch for. Like if ES comes down to its Friday low and bounces and then NQ starts to bounce. But I'm really not looking for longs. I would be looking for it to pull back up and find a short to enter. Oh man, G-Man, did you get stopped out of gold and then it started to go up? I don't know. You're not missing out on much. You probably would have gotten stopped out on that one too. That 5-minute chart looks like some barcode action. Gosh, what a dump day. Looking at the 5-minute chart, there's on ES, there's, yeah, both of them. There's 2 green candles on the 5-minute chart, but they're not even like bullish green candles. They look like weak green candles. Sellers are just, or buyers have been non-existent this morning. They're not even able to pull it back up for a little retrace. Which is funny because I always watch for these liquidity grab areas. And there haven't even been bounces on the 1-minute chart. Well, it's starting to hold. This is a high volume node. Kind of maybe starting to establish a little bit of support here. ES came down to its previous week low. It's starting to hold value area low. This could be a spot where we get that bounce. I don't want to go against the trend and try to catch a falling knife and long here, but it might be a spot where we actually get a pullback and we can find a spot to enter short. If you're brave and you're crazy and you want to go against the trend, this might be a spot where you can long. I wouldn't do it, but I know some of you guys like to scalp. There she goes. I know someone got in along there. Who did it? Anyone in the chat getting in that long? Nice. Couple people did. There you go. All right, so a couple things that are lining up here. We do have our initial balance set. So Friday's point of control is right at New York Anchor VWAP. So I'm going to set an alert here at like 25,205. And what I would be looking for is if we sell off, probably put my stop loss above that wick there, and then I would target back to initial balance low. And this range is big, you guys. Like that trade right there, that'd be a 168 point target. What is our range? The 60-minute range is 374 points. That's crazy. So I would just take a really small position, probably 3 contracts on that one, because there's lots of money to be made in this range. So yeah, I think that's what I'm looking for. I'll also set an alert down here at initial balance low in case it comes back down here first, and then there's like a liquidity grab, we can take a bounce long, but I would be more excited about taking a short if it comes back to this VWAP area. I would watch for a reaction here at the New York Anchor VWAP first. If it doesn't immediately sell off, it could come back up to the session VWAP, which right now it's closer to 244. That obviously can move by the time price actually gets up there. But that's kind of where I'd be looking for it to possibly go short. But I think I'm going to call it there in terms of the stream, just because I know I get to the point where I'm like sitting here just looking, searching for a trade. My patience level starts to wear thin. So I'll step away. If my alert goes off, I'll come back and check. But you guys trade safe today. It's kind of a funky day. So either call it or size down. That's what I would say. Come join us in Discord if you're not already. There is a link in the description. Come hang out with us. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Have a good one.